Hello and welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Derry.
I'm Kumara.
That's right. So we are. And, you know, we're the bad batch of podcasts, and we're defective but effective. So, you know, it works out. We're not going to win any awards for anything in this other than maybe the worst podcast, but I digress. But you know, we do what we do.
The best award.
Right. It's the most coveted, for sure. So what's going on with everybody?
Not a whole lot. Another week in the books.
Another week closer to death.
Yeah.
Didn't
accomplish much. So.
I heard you had some fun last weekend playing D&D. Did you get anything?
Yeah. So I had already forgotten about that. We just talked about it 15 minutes ago. So
that's why.
Yeah, so I'm in a D&D group. We get together with some local guys here. Actually, I met one of them through the North Carolina Underground Toy Traders group on Facebook, which he was in the other podcast that we share the group on. He was in that group, Lou Farizzi. We meet up at his house and play. We're in the middle of a homebrew campaign. I've been playing with them now, I think a year and a half, but I started after they did in the campaign. Because I was playing with another group prior to that. But we go, we eat pizza, we bullshit. We talk about toys probably more than we talk about, or we play D&D. And then we always have some drinks while we're there. We usually start off with a little bit of whiskey, and then I'll drink PBR the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Well, last week, about the time I was getting tipsy, I got on Big Bad Toy Store.
Oh, no.
Always a great idea. So, I had been in a toy drought for, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 weeks. I hadn't even received a figure. But I'd been waiting. I meant to go out and do some in-person hunting around here and just never got around to it. But I did end up ordering, which I'll show the box, 2 of the D&D NECA figures.
Nice.
So Strongheart, and then I'll grab the figure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
He's really cool. A lot of detail. I don't know if my camera will pick up all of it, but really good detail. Comes with a wired cape.
Yeah.
Raise and lower face mask.
Ooh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so I actually like him with the face mask down more than up because I don't really like his face. Not that it's bad, it's just I don't like the way his face looks. So one of the things I will critique a little bit with these figures is some of the parts, like this sword probably doesn't do it justice, but I actually think it's a little small for him. And he's got a sheath that you slide the sword down into.
Okay.
some of these smaller pieces get brittle. On my War Duke, you have to be very careful with it because I tried to slide the sword into the holster and it's a little tight and it's very easy to snap, like right where the cross guard and the blade come together. And there's some other little details on it that if you're just too rough with it, you'll end up probably snapping off and having to glue back. So like one of the straps on the back of the shield here is loose. I'd actually pop that with my finger trying to get it over his gauntlet. So you just have to be a little bit careful with them, but nothing that's happened hasn't been fixable either.
Yeah.
And then the second one is actually my favorite one. It's Elkhorn the Dwarf.
Yeah.
Which that's the picture on the side of him. But he's probably one of my favorite figures in the collection now.
Heck yeah. I've seen several people posting pictures of that, so that's very cool.
Yeah, he comes with a backpack that hooks.
I really
on.
like that backpack.
Yeah, it's really nice, like the sculpt and everything on it.
Yeah.
It actually uses, like, these are molded plastic, these straps here.
Yeah.
But this piece is independent of the rest of the backpack for the most part. You've got, I mean, literally his pants, they fooled me at first. They're plastic, but I thought they were cloth when it was in the package.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're that detailed to where it looks like actual cloth. But I mean, the axe is pretty badass.
Yeah.
I like the torch. He even came with this little jug to get drunk on. But yet you still have like the dagger here. Same thing. You just have to be careful with it. When you're sliding that in the sheath, that seems to be the biggest problem. He actually had another Warhammer that was bigger than that, than this one on the back.
Okay.
Didn't really look right if you didn't have it in his hands and like double holding it. It was even bigger than this for the most part. So
really,
yeah. So I opted not to put that one on him and put the smaller one on him. But I mean, I've been happy with every single one of these NECA D&D figures. The only one I don't have, and it's because I really don't like the design of the character that much. The only one I don't have is Grimsword. So he's like the one that has the snakes.
Yeah.
And I've just never liked that character design. I probably will pick it up, but it's still on shelves at toy stores and stuff. So if there's one of them that I think is going to hit like the daily deals on Big Bad Toy Store or get a significant reduction, maybe on Entertainment Earth, I think it's going to be that one. I just don't think it was as popular. And they've already reissued War Duke on he's on a card, like a bubble pack on a card. So I may pick that one up just to display it with the old school retro card on it. Because I already have the one on my D&D shelf right here. War Duke's back there that I have displayed. So I may just snag the newer version of it. But it does have a different paint scheme a little bit. From what I understand, it's more of the classic cartoon or whatever it is. The I'm trying to think of what the word is. The background media from where they pull War Duke from. The first run was a little bit different than that, and that one's supposed to be like spot on to what he looked like in the original media. So I may end up picking that one up, but I mean, really, other than that, I've still got a bunch of stuff on pre-order. The only other thing I did this week is, I may have talked about this before, but I've gotten really big into a Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay server.
Oh, so, yeah, nice. You did mention that.
It's like playing D&D, but in the Grand Theft Auto 5 world. And so literally you create a character, you're expected to be in character the whole time. So I've been playing in a I was in one server, but we jumped ship. We went to a server that's smaller where we could experience some of the stuff like creating a gang, running the gang. I also created a law enforcement officer. So I put my TikTok down there. So at OG China White. So I'm actually posting some TikTok videos of just us playing stupid stuff that we do.
Cool.
It is not kid friendly at all.
Naturally.
Just go into it. And I mean, you know my personality. There ain't nothing kid friendly about this guy.
No.
So I play a little crackhead named China White on there, and he does and says some of the stupidest shit you'll ever see. So
you actually have to role play as this character.
Yeah. So
and what is it through?
So there used to be a company called 5M that this is all they did. They set up these role play servers, and basically you could build a server through them, pay them a fee, and then it piggybacks off the game from Steam. So this is only on PC. You can't do this through PlayStation or Xbox. But it piggybacks off your game in Steam. And what they can do in 5M is they can code in extra stuff. So like GTA 5 online, it's fun, but you've got to worry about 8-year-olds flying around on these like jet engines griefing you all the time, just killing you for nothing and doing it over and over and over and over. And so like on this, there's rules. So they want this to be extremely realistic, like real life. So they'll put jobs in that people will get on there and they'll do jobs. So like you can actually be a cop, you can actually be a EMS person, you can be a nurse, a doctor, and you role play as those jobs. And what's really, really cool about it is every server can be different because people just write these programs that add on to the game. Mm-hmm. And the people who run the server actually choose like whose modules do they want to add to it and incorporate.
Wow. Cool.
And they still have to do some serious development work to get everything to work together, right?
Yeah.
But like as a cop, like you've got a license plate reader that tells you what the license plate on the car is, how fast it's going.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's really, really cool. And like you can handcuff people. You can like escort people. You can take them to jail and lock them in a cell.
Can you be an escort?
To the prison, like you can get sentenced to prison. I mean, there's so much stuff that you can do. Like you can go gather the ingredients for cocaine and literally cook cocaine and then sell it to like because you still have NPCs too. And so you can make cocaine and then you can sell it to the NPCs, which at certain times it'll alert the police officers that are online and then they'll try to come catch you.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun.
Well, it's what I expected Grand Theft Auto Online to be.
Right.
Optimally, that it never was.
Yeah.
And so what's really cool is last year, Rockstar bought this 5M company, and it's basically fully integrating it. So this is just a theory of mine. When Grand Theft Auto 6 releases, they're actually going to incorporate some of the mechanics of what the people did in 5M prior actually into Grand Theft Auto Online. And make it much more robust on the kind of stuff that you can do and those things. So like it's crazy some of the stuff I've seen that people have done with their cities. It blows your mind, and like I get lost in it. Like I could sit there for hours and play it because there's always something to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds outrageous.
Yeah, it's Eric Bertram got me looking at it back in, I want to say around Christmas time. So we joined in January, and I mean, I couldn't even tell you like how long I've spent on that game. I mean, I've been out of work since December, and so I've logged way too many hours playing GTA role play. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just all the stuff that you can do on it.
Heck yeah. So basically, what you have to do is you have to have Steam and you have to get GTA 5.
Yep.
And then you can look into joining a server.
And
right?
what a lot of these servers are what are called whitelisted servers. So they don't just let anyone in. Like you have to create a character, a backstory. Like you're expected to play your character in conjunction with what your backstory is. So obviously you're supposed to think about, okay, I'm in this situation. What would my character do?
Right.
Not what do I want to do? Not would I put, and do I want to pull my assault rifle and just, shoot this person? But what would my character do? So like,
that's crazy.
some people make characters that are like conflict adverse, like they just won't defend themselves or anything. Like it's wild. The only problem I run into is a lot of people create what I call our vanilla characters. So it's just like them as a regular person. There's no embellishment. There's nothing different. It's just them in this world being an asshole all the time. So that's when
like me.
we just set them up. We just set them up for a bad time. So, we'll get our whole group together and just shit on that person for an hour straight. And then they don't want to fucking play anymore. So, but yeah, that doesn't happen very often, but there are some people who get in there and they're real dickish. Like all they want to do is go around and rob other players.
Oh, okay.
From them. So then people band together like a posse. And apparently this exists for Red Dead Redemption as well.
Oh, really?
The whole same, because I mean, both Rockstar games, supposedly you can do Red Dead Redemption 2 role play as well, which I still haven't wrapped my head around how that would work, because that world is so big and you're like riding horses and everything.
Right.
Cool.
So like if you're on a map that if you only have 20 people in session right now, how often are you coming across other people? That would be my question. I was on a server where at like 9:00 at night, there was 300 people in GTA.
Jeez.
So yeah, I mean, 275 was pretty average for 9 to midnight.
Huh.
So just depends on how many people they can get into those Red Dead 2 servers. But I mean, I've always been a big fan of cowboy stuff, so I thought that'd be pretty cool too. So
yeah. Speaking of cowboys, I have a
there
cowboy.
you go. You can be a cowboy character.
Yeah, I know. I want to be one.
When you grow up?
Yeah, when I grow up, I want to be a cowboy. A samurai cowboy.
There you go.
There you go.
So like a blend of the two cultures. I wouldn't have those like weird sandals that you get. I'd have cowboy boots, but I'd still wear the kimono. Heck
there
yeah,
you go.
Man.
With a cowboy.
I'm a cowboy hat. Heck yeah, dude. I can't tell you how many times I've sent stuff to Pumira, like, oh hey, look at this, look at these clothes. Oh hey, look at these clothes. I want these clothes.
Lots
and it's
of
all like
Instagram
samurai
messages.
themed stuff, and yeah, this would be awesome.
How many of those clothes do you have?
None.
I think she's
So
trying
when he
to send
grows
you.
up, he's hoping to have some.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to have like a straight up legit kimono though. Like,
heck yeah, dude. I mean, the closest I got to having a kimono was I used to have a Jedi robe. Which is now since lost to eternity. I'm not sure where it ended up, but
other side of the basement.
Well, yeah, it probably got moldy and we had to throw it away or something. I don't know. Who knows? But last time I remember wearing it, I was doing laundry. So I took all my clothes off and just wrapped up in this thing and tied a belt around it and then washed all my clothes, just every single bit of clothing
Nice.
on my body, the stuff that I had on the floor, just everything. And it's like, all right, I'm doing it all right now. And it's just like, yeah. And it was like, oh wow, this feels nice and free. Like, 'cause I'm over there swinging around, without
Nice.
any underwear. So
New meaning to the phrase sword fighting.
well, yeah, definitely true. But I did not have any encounters with anyone, so I didn't have to draw my sword.
Oh, okay.
When was this?
Well, this was a long time ago. I was maybe 18.
Oh, okay.
So
Little 18-year-old you.
yeah. Yep, that's the closest thing I ever
funny.
got to a kimono, because it's just like, dude, I have nothing to wear. And it's like I was sick of it, so I just washed everything. And it's like, I'm gonna wash the clothes on my back too. Wrapped up in this kimono type pseudo Jedi robe and rode it out. It's like, yeah, this is awesome. But anyway, yeah, that's my dream at some point. What do you have going on, Pumira?
Working
Yeah.
40 hours a week.
Oh boy.
I'm tired, especially after not doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, nothing
I
much.
sympathize. I do not think that I could do that. But I digress. Before we get into the movies, I have stuff I got. I will start with, I got a couple Black Series figures. I got Cad Bane. Let's do this. And I got the good
Mandalorian.
Mando. This is the one that's really good, that has the jetpack and the cloth soft good cape and all that stuff. Just haven't had time to open them. So yeah, I got those, and hang on, I got this other thing. I got the latest issue of Thundercats.
Nice.
Issue 4. This is not the cover I would have chosen had I got to pick one. Yeah, but I don't know. There was a really cool cover with Mumra on it that I remember seeing advertised, but I haven't got the chance to read it. So who knows? Maybe Tiger is actually relevant in this issue. Who knows? He hasn't been relevant in pretty much any issue. They've just, I don't know, just been chilling.
I've never been a marquee character, so.
Hey, Zombie came in saying hey. And
Hi.
about time. And this is the May. Yes, this is the May. And that's definitely what we say around here. What's next? What was the other thing I was going to say? I got the issue, the
Black Series
figures. Oh, we picked up some Magic the Gathering cards for my girls. This time I didn't go with the format I play. I play Commander EDH, which has like 100 cards in the deck and one general to lead them, and it everything in the deck has to be the color that the commander is. So I had built them EDH decks, but yeah, they were thinking that we were thinking that it's like, you know what, in order to get the kids into Magic, then maybe we should do 60 cards. So we got a couple of those packs and started playing them. Yeah, we got a base starter pack and then a Lord of the Rings one. And so we're having fun with that. And that's about it. But yeah.
I like
On
it.
to
It's fun.
yeah, I enjoy it. I'm hoping they do too. Still iffy. I'm still iffy. I don't know if they're completely into it yet, but
That's okay. Riley
They-
actually beat you fair and square.
twice.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. She knew what
Yeah.
she was doing.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yes, they get a taste of that winning, especially
and
being bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. She wants to do it again and again and again.
Yeah, she did. She was. Oh yeah, I want to play again. I want to play my deck at least 3 times today. And it's like, okay, sure, let's do it. But
Cadence, not so much.
yeah, Cadence is just like, I'd rather edit or do some
Or
other.
something on their phone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Teenager already.
yeah, for sure. It's disappointing.
Yeah. We missed it. Maybe she'll
Yeah, we
pick it
did.
up later. But it's okay.
At this point, I doubt it. But
Yeah. Well,
uh,
I learned in my 20s.
yeah, but that's like because you had to.
Not really.
Yeah,
Could have said no.
you could have, but you didn't for some silly reason.
Well, because everybody played it at the lunch table at school. I was never invited. Because I never had a deck. Because I wasn't interested.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Zombie says he got a Cosmic Legions wave this week. That's cool. What'd you get? Yeah,
Look forward to seeing those.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure when he'll be back, but he's on a side mission this week. So we'll see if he is able to make it next week and maybe see that Cosmic Legions he got. But on to the movies. What do we think? You want to do Fifth Element first?
Yeah, that works.
All right. All right. Fifth Element. I don't know. What did you guys think?
So I had seen this one before.
Yeah,
You had not.
I had not.
You had not, Pumira. So
no.
I'll let you guys kick off what you thought. I mean, since I saw this in the theaters when it first came out. So,
What?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Willis was like one of the biggest action stars in the world at the time. So we went and saw Die Hard with a Vengeance, which was what, 94, 95, somewhere in there. And then this came out. So like I had 3 older brothers. So
Yeah.
we were always locked in on any of these big action stars when they put something out.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, okay, so for me, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this.
Oh boy. Load it
But
up.
I don't. Maybe I shouldn't lead with that. I thought it was
Just
okay
do it.
movie. But it felt very. What's the right word? It felt very cheap and generic. For like some of their characters, they're especially when they started singing and the space scenes, and we talked about this last week with they have Star Wars. They could have used a blueprint that is a blueprint to build off of, but it felt like they were trying to establish their own universe.
Mm.
I don't blame them. It had the good beginnings, but and this is probably where I'll get hate. I thought it felt very much like the cantina scene in Solo, where they have that weird like techno like voice and they're doing that and they're doing that and it felt very Rogue One / Andor / drab feel. for those scenes, especially.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's both good and bad in my opinion, because those things don't scream Star Wars to me. But again, it's not supposed to be. It's Fifth Element. So yeah. What did you think, Pumara?
I loved how they 3D printed her. The Fifth
That was
Element.
cool.
Yeah,
That was very cool.
That was very cool.
And the way I thought it was silly of what they thought we would drive in 2020, like in the 2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nothing like that on Earth now.
dude, seriously, why don't we have flying cars? I genuinely don't understand.
They
Mhm.
haven't gotten them yet.
Yeah, because people
So,
are being lazy. They should have had a vision for flying cars and have driven. That should have had drive people to do that. Fucking lazy people.
and that poor kid that held the light for the professor,
Yeah.
or
Azim.
whatever. Yeah, it was hilarious. That's not me.
Yeah.
When the spaceship landed.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah, he's holding that reflective. He's
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, finally. You
They're trying to
adjusted the
poison
sun
him
just
too,
right.
and he wanted something stronger. He didn't
Yeah.
want water for a toast. That was
Yeah.
a good call on his part.
Yeah, probably, but
Old Bilbo Baggins.
yeah, I noticed that Bilbo Baggins was in there, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Oh hey, we have a
Hi.
joiner.
I made it.
Nice.
There we go.
I heard you talking shit about Fifth Element.
Listen, that was all Dustin.
Yeah, it's all me. I like I said, I thought those scenes felt very like Andor, and while Andor's grounded in a certain sense, it's not something I wanted from Star Wars. Just Andor in general, and that's what those scenes felt for me.
Well, it's a good thing this isn't Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. But that's what it felt like to me. And but yeah, we just said that the weird dude holding the light for the
kid.
professor, the kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's
He's like holding this weird copper thing, trying to direct the
falling
sunlight
asleep.
into.
Aziz, light.
Yeah, Aziz.
That poor kid.
Yeah.
And when the professor, whoever it was finally happy, it's because the spaceship landed.
Yeah.
Oh
That
man.
wasn't it.
I'm watching the credits as this thing's coming on. I'm like, Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry's in this movie? I don't remember Matthew Perry in this movie. And I completely forgot about that whole opening scene. I'm going, yeah, Matthew Perry's in this movie.
I didn't remember him either being in it.
Yeah.
Who really remembers Matthew Perry? I mean, honestly, that's
See,
other than for Friends. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Now there's Luke Perry.
Luke
Perry
Perry.
is the one that's in
Luke
this
Perry,
movie.
sorry.
Not Matthew Perry.
I'm about to
Luke
say,
Perry.
I don't remember.
Yeah, see, like I
Matthew.
can't even remember the guy's name. So whatever. He's like, who is he really? I mean, what was he? He was like
90210. That was
Buffy
it.
the
Oh,
Vampire
yeah,
Slayer movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was over here racking my brain thinking like, damn, Matthew Perry was in this? I don't
Yeah, I'd
remember
have to
that.
rewatch it.
Because I'm terrible.
Exactly,
with
that's
names.
what I thought too.
I'm terrible with names, so I'm like, yeah, it's Perry something. I don't know. Who is he again?
See,
I just know that Bilbo Baggins was in it, and it's just like, oh, Bilbo, what's up, my little friend?
So I think this is one of those movies where you have to. It depends on when in your life you watched it.
Yeah.
So, like this came out, I was a teenager. I was, depending on when it dropped in that year, either 13 or 14. So, like we were all into Bruce Willis movies. Like we had seen every single Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah.
always been a big fan of most of the movies that he's in.
Yeah.
So I was actually pretty mixed on this movie when it came out.
Okay.
I have never been a Chris Tucker fan. And I have always felt like his part in the movie cheapened the movie.
Yeah.
Not that other things aren't ridiculous and all that, but like I didn't like him in Friday. I didn't like him in Rush Hour.
Damn.
No. Not anybody who's ever been like on my radar as a good actor. And maybe not as a good actor, but as someone I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I never liked that part. I mean, huge Gary Oldman fan.
Yeah.
And this is just another one of those weird roles where,
Dude, and he embraced it.
Oh yeah. Well,
Dude,
there's nothing that guy does that he doesn't embrace.
Yeah, seriously, like I don't understand what it is about him and people like Daniel Day-Lewis and stuff like that. It's just like they just like fully immerse themselves into their role, and it's just like, what the hell? Like they completely transform.
Actors.
What was that?
They're total character actors.
Yeah.
Like they're in character basically 24/7 while they're shooting a movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it shows in the quality of like the parts that they play. Like I heard some stuff about Gangs of New York, like Daniel Day-Lewis during Gangs of New York, and it's just funny to hear like people say the shit that he did because he was in character all the time.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
So
like Leonardo DiCaprio said he didn't ever. So he plays basically a butcher, and it's the native. Shouldn't say Native Americans. It's the
indigenous
people that have been born in America versus like the Irish.
Right.
So they're different gangs. And so they're always fighting. It's not a great movie, but it is a fun watch.
That's the Gangs of New York.
Yeah, but like Leonardo DiCaprio said about Daniel Day-Lewis, like he never talked to me out of character until the very last day of shooting. Like until they cut their final scene, and then like he talked to Leonardo DiCaprio out of character.
Right.
It's just insanity to me that somebody does that. But
I just saw someone do that recently. They were it was Dave Chappelle about Jim Carrey.
Wow.
And he was all excited to meet Jim Carrey, and he's just like, oh yeah, Mr. Carrey, blah blah, and he's just like, call him this, whatever he was playing on set. I remember, so it's like that is crazy to be that immersed in the role. But I dig those actors.
Yeah, I've always been on the fence about Mila Jovovich. Like, she was in probably one of my favorite movies all time, Dazed and Confused. But she's like the weird folk singer girl in that.
Huh. Okay.
People, when this movie came out, talked about how hot she was. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't turn away when they 3D printed her nude laying there before they put the strap thing on her. But, I mean, still not, kids like my age at the time were like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah.
It's just like, come back to me in a few years.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I will say some of the acting, just having the quality actors that they did.
Yeah.
Like this movie would have been terrible if they would have not had Bruce Willis in it, Gary Oldman, and probably even Mila Jovovich, because she does play that character where she makes it funny and like she's really good at being like the innocent kind of she just doesn't know what's going on because she's not from there. She's like totally from a different culture. But there's a lot of scenes where their acting saved those scenes where I felt like it could have been
a train wreck,
a lot worse.
Yeah, right.
Than what it turned out. But I mean, this is another movie. It's nostalgic for me. I remember when it came out, but I had mixed feelings about it even when it originally came out. Like, I would have put this up against like Stargate, and to me, Stargate is by far a better movie than Fifth Element. So, Zombie's probably going to crush us now with his feelings.
No.
Fifth
No.
Element.
What I feel like adding to this is when the movie came out, I think it was almost ahead of the times on certain things. Like y'all have mentioned 3D printing. They 3D printed a body. You know, that's like
Awesome.
at the time that was almost science fiction. It's like, oh, how cool would it be to actually print 3-dimensional objects? You know,
Right.
you got to put your mindset in that year that this movie came out, and I'm not even going to pretend to know it because I did
1997.
Like a week ago, and now it's like gone. I don't retain anything. I'm sorry, except for really useless crap. No, but the whole
like Trimmer 7.
Honestly, I don't even remember most of those. Like, I remember bits and pieces, and it all gets mixed up into my head as in like one long Trimmer movie. And like, I stopped before the TV show. Like, I couldn't get to the TV show before what I had died. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. All right, we're moving on. But there's certain things in the Fifth Element that, I mean, yeah, it's hokey. Like, you know, the supreme beings, the way they look like these hockey puck things with fish
weird, like
eggs or
crustacean,
something,
like
robotic looking body, just kind of wobbling. That to me felt like y'all couldn't come up with anything better than that.
Right.
On that
Probably
design.
last minute.
You know, it was that always kind of sat as like a weird visual thing. But the whole movie is a weird visual thing. It's got weird visuals everywhere in this movie because it's always that thing of what is the future really going to look like? Nobody knows. We're going to, make stuff up. And then you see things that are supposed to be futuristic for the time, but as we're looking back on it now, it's like, God, that was like something that they would use back in, 2000, and we've progressed technologically past whatever it was they thought was going to be futuristic.
Well, Bruce Willis was still using a home phone.
Yeah.
So phone. I'm like,
right.
Hell?
Didn't they fax something, or was that a different movie? It's just like,
did they what?
Wait,
fax?
Yeah, didn't they fax something to
no,
someone?
That was Back to the Future.
Wait, what?
Too. That was Back to the Future Part 2. Different movie.
I like the licenses.
They had like the mail delivery was the pneumatic tube system type of shoot thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I use that right now at work.
1980s.
Yeah. No, but like the 3D printing thing, the flying cars, they had to put a car chase in there, of course. If it's like you said, 1997.
Yeah,
which I think was well done.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic of the cars, though.
Right.
Retro, kind of bubbly.
Yeah,
and
big
lived in.
Fenders.
Yeah, lived in. It wasn't like everything's like
pristine,
smooth and a bubble and pristine. Yeah, it was nasty and dirty and
barely hanging together.
Like the Chinese restaurant owner, his was like an old Chinese ship.
That was so cool.
I thought that was brilliant.
I know. I'm just like, dude, I kind of want Chinese now.
Food truck.
It was a great visual, So, and that's what a lot of this movie was what can we make that's visually striking? And in that, I think they succeeded.
Yeah, I think
Whereas, some of the effects, it's like, it's that's kind of iffy on that effects type of stuff. Or like you were pointing out with the auto-tune, that's something that, a lot of people at the time were experimenting with in music.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, well, we got this diva, this opera singer. What can we do that's kind of futuristic? Let's pitch her voice rapidly with this auto-tune. That'll do it. So, But even with that, I think that was kind of neat. It
Yeah.
was something I didn't expect the first time I watched it. I was like, oh, hey, it's not just an opera. It's
Right.
it's this other elevation to this show that I didn't expect.
It's
Now,
T-Pain.
the whole like Ruby Rod thing bugged the crap out of me the first time I watched it. I was like, I
Yeah.
hate that character.
Well,
But as the guy, like, he's the comic relief. So of course they put him in to stir the pot on so to speak, on certain things.
Yeah.
But I laughed my ass on him. I laughed my ass off at him now watching it, because I actually watched this movie a week prior than what you picked it. So I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not going to watch it again because time is short, But it was funny because I was going to mention that one, but because I didn't think I was going to be here, I was just like, nah, let them pick the movies because I'm not going to be on the show for a couple of weeks. So I'm not butting in. They're going to pick what they're going to pick.
Well, the last time you were on, we picked Return to Oz and Star Crash.
I know, and I went back and I watched Star Crash. I hadn't got a chance to do Return to Oz, but I will. I'm going to watch that damn movie because talking chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
No, my thoughts on Star Crash, that mostly was my thoughts were broadcast in our private chat. Was
Right.
Amazon's on horseback, but the horses have croc shoes for heads. It had cavemen. It had Vin Diesel's uncle, Vin Kerosene, in it. I was laughing my ass off the entire movie. No way is it worse than Uninvited.
Did you watch Uninvited, Derry?
Not yet.
So it's still on YouTube, not YouTube, Tubi. It's still on Tubi, but, and I found this last night, the Riff Tracks version is on Tubi also.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I bookmarked that. I'm like, I'm watching that one next.
Oh boy, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's
Of course you are.
so bad. You're going to be saying that Star Crash is a masterpiece compared to it. I promise you. It's so bad.
Well, hopefully it doesn't bounce around like Star Crash did, especially in the space scenes.
Man, it's got some hard cut scenes in it. It goes from one thing to another at some point. There's like, at some point, somebody falls in the water and they're never seen again. And it's like, okay, so it's instant death if you fall off the boat into the water. And it's calm seas.
Right.
Okay, whatever. Be prepared.
Oh, great.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. Would I watch Fifth Element again? Yeah, heck yeah. I enjoyed it despite all the criticism that I have for it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's out there.
It's an entertaining watch,
Yeah.
If you just if you put it on as background noise while you're doing something else or whatever, and a scene catches your eye and you watch the scene or whatever, something like that, which is something that I do quite often. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie because I don't remember.
All right, what about Rampage? What was that, Derry?
I haven't seen it that many times, but I've seen it multiple through the years. It's like some of the other movies we talked about. It's like you're laying on the couch on a rainy day and you're flipping through TV channels and it's on. I'm going to stay on it and watch it again.
Yeah.
Am I going to go through my Voodoo collection and specifically pick it out and be like, you know what? I've just really had a hankering to watch this. Not so much.
Right. Yeah, I don't have an urge to go out and pick it up, but yeah, I'm right there with you. But it's not one that I want to have in my collection to add to my collection. But yeah, It was a fun watch. I'll watch it if it's streaming. But what about Rampage?
What about
Loved it.
Rampage?
So I've never seen this one before.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This is our
So when
second
it came
time.
out, so I kind of went through Rock was in so many movies at one
Oh.
point that I got like just
Rock
whatever,
out.
like rock fatigue.
Yeah, rocked out. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Maybe we should call it like stoned to death.
I like rocked out.
Yeah. I got to the point where like everything was coming out with him. What was the one disaster movie? Was it San Andreas?
Yeah.
Had him in it. I mean, he was all over the Fast and Furious for a while. Then Hobbs and Shaw came out. So Rock
He was
has
a
a
Tooth Fairy in
penchant.
one movie.
He has a penchant for like talking up movies. Like when Black Adam was coming out, oh, the power structure in the DC universe is going to change, and then they lay a fucking turd in front of him. Like he has such a bad habit of that.
Yeah.
Because everything he touches is gold, that I just got to the point where I stopped watching The Rock in movies. And so I was just like, when this came out, I was like, how are you going to make an old arcade game that I loved? Like we would go to the skating rink and they had Rampage, and I would spend more time playing Rampage than I would like actually skating. And I was like, how are you going to turn this into something engaging? Like, I mean, there's lots of kaiju movies out there. I mean, at the end of the day, that's pretty much what this is. It's like baby kaiju and stuff. And
Yeah.
I skipped it. And I mean, I would say like this movie, it's not a terrible movie,
Huh.
but to me, it's also not great of a movie. It's like in the average space for me. Like,
Yeah.
it had some really good actors in it that I like. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is probably one of my all-time favorite actors.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to save it in my book either.
That casting as him as the cowboy was
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah.
And it opened like the space station scene at the very beginning. It was not done very well,
No,
in my opinion.
I agree
Yeah.
with you.
It didn't look good. I mean, like we so overutilize CGI now in movies. Like that started me off on a bad foot with it. Now, I mean, it redeemed itself in a lot of ways. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know like Jack Quaid was going to be in it. The lady from 007, Naomi, whatever, she's in it. So there was some really good actors in it. I like the sign language with the gorilla. They made some funny parts with that. But I mean, I don't know. I'll get your guys' take on it. But like, it was something that I could sit through. It kept me engaged, but it really wasn't like my cup of tea.
Mm.
I should say. Like, if I had to put this up against other movies of its type, I'm probably picking like a Kong movie or, a Pacific Rim any day over this movie.
I have a different opinion. I enjoyed it.
Oh boy.
I saw it in theater.
Oh boy.
Boy.
I saw it in theater, but here's the thing that I missed the first time watching it, and I didn't catch it until the second time. I missed that whole beginning part. I think we were, I don't know, tied up with like either getting popcorn or something like that. I don't recall what the circumstance was, but we walked in late basically, and it was just him and the gorilla standing there talking, doing like, oh, he peed his pants, he's crying, you made him cry, and he's signing to it. That's the scene I walked in on. I'm like, okay, well, and then all of a sudden the other three creatures pop up, and I'm like, wait, oh, okay. So yeah, anyway, I didn't catch that around until I watched it again once it was released on like a streaming service. I think HBO Max had it first. And so I watched it there and I'm just like, oh, there's something I didn't catch the first time because I didn't have a video game to play. I didn't have Rampage. I didn't even know it was based on a video game.
Yeah.
So I didn't know all that. And so then it made a ton more sense. And I thought it was just a really fun watch. And I found it enjoyable enough I've now seen it 3 times. Yeah. This past time was the 3rd time I think I've watched it. Maybe 4th. But
I don't even know why they had to tie it to the video game. Like,
yeah,
it's a movie that somebody made. Like, there wasn't enough like taken from the video game because there's really no substance of the video game. You're climbing, punching a building, and then eating people, like you and other monsters. So I just didn't understand why they even made it a Rampage movie. Just call it something else.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like that Battleship. They made Battleship into a movie, and it's like,
What's
how are you going to make Battleship a movie? And you're really going to make Liam Neeson say you sunk my battleship? What the? Come on. Come on.
Now about Battleship, what I liked was the idea of like the old timers, the vets, because they knew how to operate everything manually, all the hydraulics and all that shit, because it wasn't all computerized. Yeah. But there's no way that battleship would have still been like able to even move. They'd have filled it with concrete and sunk it onto land and made it look like it was floating on water or whatever. In our reality, that's what they do. They decommission those ships like that, and they fill the bottoms with concrete so that they can't go out to sea anymore. That took it out and took me out of the movie, among other things, for Battleship, because I love the Battleship game. But I'm like, okay, well, that is kind of cool, because I actually do work with some guys like that.
Yeah. I've never seen Battleship.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'll give them that, but it wouldn't happen. But it's still kind of cool.
Now, nowadays, I saw this the other day. Now, instead of playing Battleship, you play Battle Shots.
Yes, I reposted that too.
Yeah, that might have been where I seen it. Like, dude, come on. We'll have to get together and play Battle.
Get off on beer pong. Here's Battle Shots.
You are going so down. Be prepared to be blitzed. But no, so like you mentioned, this was based off of a video game, which I'm personally surprised that this movie even got made in a post 9/11 world that we live in, because I mean, the climax of the movie, they topple a skyscraper. So it's surprising to me that they would even do that. But
considering what they've done in the past,
that's an element of the game that was put in. George ate somebody. That's an element of the game that was put in. So there are things to tie the movie into that video game. I personally feel like this was just one of those grabs they were trying to do at the time. It's like everybody's making these movies. Yeah, everybody's making these movies off of comic books and old TV shows and video games. What can we do? What else is out there? They've already done Battleship. Anybody remember the game called Rampage? Yeah, great. Giant monsters. People love giant monsters. Let's do it. Who can we cast in this movie? Well, The Rock's hot right now. Let's get him.
Right.
You know what video game they should make a movie about?
What?
The E.T. video game.
Oh my God.
You guys know the big thing about the E.T. video game, right?
No.
Oh.
So it's literally been deemed the shittiest video game ever made.
Okay.
If you actually go out and look up Angry Video Game Nerd and his review of E.T., and he'll tell you the whole story about it, which is one of my favorite. Like, he goes through all the old classics and replays them and like gets pissed off at them trying to beat them. And so he does one on E.T. Like, there are so many ET games in landfills because it was so shitty it didn't sell at all, and it was for Atari. And like go out and watch that dude. He does a perfect review of the ET video game and the big flop that it was, and it's trash. Like, it's the worst video game ever.
Yeah, the history behind that game is crazy. If you ever get a chance to look that up, it's just. I mean, there's a reason why it was a flop, and if you look into it, you'll see why.
Yeah, you would think a video game based on one of the most beloved movies of all time would have been a huge hit.
Huh.
Not
Yeah.
so much.
Dustin, did you save the picture? Are you able to bring that up? I want to post it in the group
picture?
chat of the Rock.
Oh,
Guy diving.
hang on.
That was hilarious.
Where did you send that? In the
It's in the group chat.
Okay.
I'm dying laughing when this movie came on and that scene came up, and I don't remember that part of it. So I'm eyes glued to the screen, going, "My God, this is hilarious!" It is the most unflattering shot of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson that there possibly could be. There it is. It looks like, and I don't remember what this video game is, but that people have memed it and all that kind of stuff. The dude's got like this massive giant chin, like people like shoot each other in the game or something like that's what that looks like to me. It's hilarious.
That is not a good angle.
Yeah.
It looks like he's blowing out his nostrils real hard.
He is jumping through the air.
I guess
Could be air flowing up into his nostrils, filling him up.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would just bet that.
So you said you wanted this as in our intro. And I was
It's hilarious.
I was like, so I was waiting to see if you came on to find out exactly what you were talking about.
Well, I mean, we've got like Krampus and the Money Pit still there. Just put Rampage somewhere in there.
If I had known that this would have been such a funny shot to you, I would have made that the
poster for the movie.
The poster, where is it?
Oh yeah,
I would have made it
marquee
in the marquee.
Yes. Oh my God, I find it so funny. I'm still giggling about it. Look.
Oh boy. Oh geez. Well, okay. So let's talk movies for next week. What are we going to watch for next week?
So I have a movie in mind, but I don't know if all of us have seen it or not. It is a movie that was panned hard when it came out.
Did you say banned?
Yeah, so like panned, like critics did not love it.
Okay,
they got a lot of hate.
Okay.
It's actually one of my favorite Disney movies of all time.
Disney.
Okay.
Bed knobs and broomsticks.
Nope. John Carter.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Like
will
that?
gladly watch that movie.
I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
Well, you need to.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are we on?
That'll be Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
Is it on Disney Plus? Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Should be.
IMDb. I knew it was on for a while, but
and what made me think about it was Battleship, Taylor Kitsch.
Okay, it's on Disney Plus.
I was like, oh shit, I gotta throw that one out there.
It's not on anything free, so if you've got Disney Plus, it is there.
I think we all have Disney Plus, don't we?
I do.
Kids.
Yeah.
I think I still do. I don't know.
Oh no.
You got to have Bluey. Am I still sharing my screen? No, I'm not.
No.
All right. Well, anyway, I was just showing the trailer for it, and I wasn't even displaying it. So, oh well.
Way to go.
Other movie, John Carter, and what else?
I got nothing because I didn't know I was going to be here.
Pumaira, what do you want to watch?
Crossroads with Britney Spears.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, come on.
You know what? I think I'm going to be sick.
The
next
girliest
week.
movie ever.
Are you trying to take the title of worst movie away from Uninvited?
No, we don't have to watch that.
I
I don't think I can watch that.
I thought you hated Britney Spears now.
That's what I just said. I don't think I can watch it. I just thought of the girliest movie ever.
Oh,
Clueless.
I thought a girly movie that you would like is. Oh well, no, you probably wouldn't like that. But what's the Natalie Portman one?
Walmart movie where the
Yeah.
heart is.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to suggest.
No, I totally forgot about
Oh,
that.
when
Even though
you said her
Walmart.
name, I thought you was going to mention the one that was, what is it?
Black
Where
Swan.
she's like 12 and the
Oh,
one dude's
Professional?
hitting. Yes, The Professional. I thought she was going to say that for a second. I'm going, whoa.
I've never seen that movie.
That's that. I remember watching it when it came out. We rented it from the video store, and so somebody that we recently watched one of their movies directed that.
The Professional.
Let's see here.
Trying to pull up, see what I've got saved.
Oh, Gary Oldman's in that as well. Oh, Luke Besson, which he did The Fifth Element. So the professional,
Oh, okay.
the professional, he's someone who like reuses actors a lot. So he's used Gary Oldman multiple times.
All right.
What about The Professional?
I've never seen it, so I'm down to watch it if you guys are.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure what it's. Let me see what it's available on. Because that kind of makes a difference.
It says streaming on Netflix.
Really,
Make sure it's
Netflix.
there. Make sure it's there because some countries' Netflix are different.
Right.
Yeah, true.
No, I got Netflix. It says it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did La Femme Nikita. If you remember, that was like a female kind of like spy type movie.
Nikita. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So he did the movie, which there was a series.
Yeah. The series is probably what most people are thinking of.
Yeah.
And then he did the movie Point of No Return, which is like an Americanized version of Nikita. Had Bridget Fonda in it back in the day. So he has kind of this style of doing these like spy-ish hitman type movies. And he did The Professional.
Maybe you should have done Bricklayer.
Came from.
He did what?
No, I said maybe he should have done Bricklayer.
Oh.
Maybe made it good.
I mean, Helen Keller could have done a better job.
Wow.
Oh yeah, The Labyrinth is on Tubi. Ooh, Slither has just 7 days left. I need to watch that again.
Is that Guardians of the Galaxy dude?
Yeah. What's his name?
I'm doing Superman now, but I can't think of his name for the life of me.
I know, and it's. I know
James. Is it James something? Director of Guardian of the Galaxy.
Director?
Yeah.
James Gunn.
James Gunn, yeah. He did the movie Slither back in the day. It's like one of his first movies, I think. I'll tell you a movie of his that I always wanted to see and never watched. I don't know why. Brightburn.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a good
dude.
one.
Yeah,
That is a really good one.
I've
What
never
was it?
never watched it.
Brightburn. We saw it in theaters.
Like the
That-
evil
that's-
Superman
The
kid.
evil.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
what if Superman grew up evil?
Yeah. Billie Eilish's debut.
No.
Soundtrack at the end.
No.
The bad guy.
Whatever you say.
Right? Yes. It was the bad guy at the end of credits. That's what I remember about that movie.
The thing I remember about that movie is I'm severely disappointed that they're not making a second one. I think
really?
they definitely could have made a second one.
If you paid attention
Yeah.
to the end credits, where like the news headlines and stuff, there's like an evil Justice League out there.
Yeah, and that's the most you can get. So it's like I'll take it, but
Yeah.
I want a series or something.
Maybe HBO should pick it up. Hint.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe now that he's man in DC, we'll get something like that.
Ooh,
Well, I don't
we can only hope.
I don't think he will because he's very
I want-
kind of
I want Red Sun.
I don't think he's gonna do
Soviet
Red Sun. I sincerely hope not. Not I'm good if they do it, but if he's so insistent on making a Superman movie and having it like done right and I don't know. Again, Superman, so it's frustrating.
All right, so
Okay,
what are we
movies.
doing? What was
John
the first
Carter
one?
and
John Carter. You want to do the professional? We'll do the professional. This
Yeah.
may have been Natalie Portman's first movie.
I think it might
Wow,
have
I've
been.
never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. So,
Yeah, but she's
that's
like
why
You
she's
do the
12,
Walmart one here,
so
4th of July.
well, yeah, I know I'm not going to watch it for in
Just
hopes
don't
of
get
getting
your hopes
turned
up.
on. So,
I mean,
Ew.
there's kind of some undertones. Of
yeah,
it. It's all,
I've heard that.
like if you're gonna watch this one, let me prepare you. She's almost like the adult, and the grown man that is the hitman in the movie is almost like a child. So their roles are reversed, and she like gets mixed up with him through like, well, you'll see if you watch the movie. So if we're gonna pick that, I'm not gonna say any more.
Okay, we're gonna pick it.
Yeah,
John Carter and
that's her
Leon.
first acting credit is
Yeah.
that movie. And
Nice.
then there was another movie, and then Heat was her third acting credit, which is a masterpiece. I love the movie Heat.
I don't know. I watched it, but I remember like falling asleep.
Well,
So
you have to like the Michael Mann style movies. Like
Yeah.
they are a very specific style. Like they're very based in realism, like gritty realism, and especially when it came out, a lot of people like our age probably didn't like that movie. But I mean, Val Kilmer is the coolest dude in that movie, especially the scene where they're running down the street trying to get away after the bank robbery and they're having the gunfight on the street. Like, I want to be Val Kilmer.
Ooh, excuse me.
and
I'm excited about John Carter. I've been meaning to watch it again. So
sir, ignore the for next week, and you just type eek. Whatever.
That's hilarious. I was wondering what eek was.
Yeah.
So that's going to show up on YouTube,
Yep,
on
everywhere.
Facebook. I don't know what the purple one is.
Discord. We're on
Oh.
Discord now.
Oh,
Check us out on our other platforms. But we're also
bad
still
about
on
that.
Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that other stuff. So, but I just figured out how to get the things we stream to stay on the channel, at least for a certain number, a certain amount of time. I'm not sure what the time is, but anyway, I digress. I have another thing I have to get to, and we have our assignment. John Carter on Disney and Leon the Professional on Netflix.
Nice.
Until next week, I will be seeing you. Where's the freaking thing? I hate this thing. Peace out.